Welcome back to Disc and Balls Golf Channel, where today we will be doing a drone fly-through of Riverside Park Disc Golf Course in Victoria, Texas. This video will be for the short basket locations, as the park has short and long basket positions for certain holes. Not all of them, but a decent number. So this will be the shorts. Also watch this because my drone is very nearly clipping that basket. Whoopsies! Hole 1 is a very straightforward 297 feet, 91 meters, and the basket is right in front of you. There are limbs that will knock down discs on the left and right side if you go a little too high, but in general a good straight shot will get you a great look for birdie, and you could even do a little force flex line. Hole 2 is challenging in that there is a mandatory on the right, this tree that the drone is just getting out of camera angle of, but getting through the mandatory and getting to the right side is optimal to give you an opportunity to approach this not exactly tucked green, and it's not really secluded, but a lot of those tree branches will cause issues with your ceiling. The short pin location on hole 3 is pretty nice. You can spike hyzer it up over this big bushy tree on the right, or you can throw something lower and straighter, or you can even throw one low that flares up and skips to the left. I think there's a left-hand line too, but plenty of options to a relatively short 261 foot basket location. Hole 4's short location is incredibly gettable for the right-handed player and reasonably gettable for a left-handed player. There's something relatively straight through the gap. There's a hyzer line, and it's right there in front of you. Hole number 5's short location favors a right-handed forehand, in my opinion. It's enough of a left to right shape that the turnover or like any line becomes more challenging. The OB pylons right there by the trees are definitely in play, but it's very gettable and generally a pretty fun hole. Hole number 6 is 645 feet and an excellent opportunity to stretch your arm and just throw it as far down here straight as you can. There is OB way left and way right. Those shouldn't be in play. But a drive of about 320 feet or so gives you 280 to 300 to this fairly gettable pin for a longer thrower and fairly challenging pin for a shorter thrower. Hole number 7 would be fairly mundane except for the OB left and OB right. During tournaments, it becomes an island hole where your disc has to get past these trees and at least to that ditch. If you don't make it, you're going to the drop zone, and it's about a 62-footer for your par. Hole number 8's short pin location is usually going to be a par. At 468 feet, you throw out to the open area, throw a reasonable upshot, and take your par. Pretty straightforward. It's usually difficult to screw up. Number 9 is again right there in front of you, 352 feet though, so you've really got to push it. Usually the prevailing wind is helping, which means you got to throw something a little less stable to get that distance if you are of the recreational or intermediate level. Number 10 is just a nasty par 3. It's 518 feet, 158 meters. OB along the left, but you usually won't reach the OB because you'll hit those trees and be completely cut off from any second shot. If you can land it up within 200 feet, you're doing pretty well. Elevated green here, OB along the left side behind the basket. And really, you're just sending one long drive and one reasonable upshot, hopefully giving yourself a par. Hole 11's short target is 279 feet with a low ceiling. So for a longer rec player, a mid-range might work. Could be a straight driver or fairway. But you have three little, I'm going to say it. Three little bastards that want to ruin your putt. Other than that, pretty straightforward. Hole 11A is a doozy. You got to deal with low ceiling most of the way to the hole. There are gaps on the left side that bring OB into play, or you can just try and bomb one down this straight gap and hope that it doesn't catch this concrete and flare OB left. Around the green you have a low ceiling also, but a very challenging par 3 at 380 feet. Hole number 12 is a fun little right to left hyzer. It's only 277 feet, but you're just trying to sneak around this corner. Usually it's going to be a straighter shot that then hyzers out and sometimes skips, although you don't want it skipping too much because all that high grass is generally OB and there's river below, so don't throw it in the river. Hole number 13 is my favorite on the course. It's only 207 feet, but it has so many options. Spike hyzers, big flex forehands, grenade probably, thumbers, tomahawks, whatever you want to do. There's so many options to get to this fairly tucked in green. So fun all the way around pretty much. Hole number 14 has OB all down the left side. It's still pretty gettable though, with two shots of if you have about 300 feet, this is something you can birdie. The fairway is all through this left side. Some people will take hyzer routes through the trees on the right, but that brings complications into play. The green is pretty wide open, although the baseball field on the right side is out of bounds, so some of the hyzers that get caught by the wind can end up over in that field, which is less than ideal. Hole number 15 actually has 3 pin locations. The short location is 301 feet. It's just a quick little left to right turnover off the box, or just left to right shot into this grove of trees. Typically, if you get past that first line, you're going to have a great look at birdie. Hole number 15's medium range location is fairly straightforward. There is a low ceiling if you try to do the straight shot, though most people will go right to left around the tree, giving them a fairly open look at this mostly unguarded pin position, although there is OB long to the left where those pylons are. Hole number 16 at 675 feet is the hole voted second most likely to ruin your round based on a made-up poll of Disc and Balls Golf Channel viewers. You're going to want to start out throwing it somewhere down here. Anything that hyzers into this gap here is ideal. You can also get away with that right gap initially and still be pretty alright. Your second shot is going to either challenge the OBA pylons on the left or the tree line on the right. But no matter your choice, it's going to be a challenging time. Hole 17 is a fair bit of a toss at 342 feet. It's pretty straight, and some people like to choose a left to right route over this picnic table. Others will just go through the trees and hope it pokes through, ideally giving them a putt from inside of circle 1. Hole number 18 is 357 feet, and I think this little gap here is the play. You can take it right and kind of skip it up if you want, but I think just putting something out here to the left and hopefully getting it back to the right is the easiest way to make birdie on this hole. Well, that concludes our drone tour of Riverside Park Disc Golf Course, again in Victoria, Texas. Such a fun layout. It is usually very well manicured. Had a little rain leading up to this drone footage, but super fun course, super fun to play, great for tournaments. Wally at One Star does a fantastic job holding events out here. So if you ever get the chance, I can't recommend it enough. Thank you to Golden Crescent Disc Golf Club for also helping with maintenance and whatnot. As always, thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you on the course.